A man who wishes to make a profession of goodness in everything is bound to come to ruin among so many who are not good. Niccolo Machiavelli wrote those words more than 500 years ago, and yet they cut sharper today than when they were first penned. Let me ask you something, honestly. In your life, have you ever been punished for doing the right thing? You told the truth and lost the deal. You trusted a friend and they took what was yours. You played fair and someone dirtier walked away with the prize. It feels like a betrayal of reality itself. We're told since childhood, be good, work hard, and the world will reward you. But Machiavelli, this sharp, cold-eyed observer of human nature, knew better. The truth is, the world doesn't reward goodness. It rewards power. It rewards perception. And those who survive are those willing to play a different game. I know that sounds dark. I know it feels like I'm asking you to give up something sacred, but stay with me. I'm not here to tell you to become a villain. I'm here to show you why playing dirty, in the way Machiavelli meant, might be the only way to keep your soul intact in a world that's already stained. You see, Machiavelli understood something most people refuse to admit. Morality is a costume. You wear it when it serves you. You take it off when it endangers you. And in this theater we call life, the people who survive are not always the ones with the cleanest hands, but the ones who know when to hide the blood. Let me give you an image. Imagine a court in Renaissance Florence. Behind silk curtains and painted smiles, daggers flash in the dark. A young diplomat, smart but naive, walks in, convinced that his honesty will make him trusted. He doesn't leave the court alive. That's the world Machiavelli saw. And in a quieter, more polite way, that's the world you live in too. Look at the office politics in your company. Look at the games people play in your friendships, in your family, even in your relationships. Do you think every smiling face is sincere? Or do you suspect that some of them have a mask in their pocket, ready to wear when it benefits them? This is why Machiavelli taught that it is better to appear virtuous than to actually be virtuous all the time. Not because virtue is bad, but because the wolves will eat the lamb that refuses to wear wolf skin when necessary. So here's what I'm asking you to consider. You can be good, but you must stop being naive. You can keep your principles, but you must protect them with cunning. And yes, sometimes that means playing dirty. We're only scratching the surface here, and if you think this is just political theory for kings and princes, you're wrong. It applies to you, to your career, to your relationships, to the game you're playing every day, whether you want to or not. Stay with me, because what comes next will make you see your world differently. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel, because what I'm about to tell you isn't comfortable, and most people won't dare say it out loud. But you need to hear it. You see, the reason people fear Machiavelli is because he tore away the polite mask society wears and showed us the game underneath. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Every culture, every belief system, every empire has known this in its own way. They just use different words for it. In the Bible, the serpent in Eden wasn't the strongest creature in the garden, but it was the shrewdest. In Buddhism, there's a saying that a wise man bends with the wind while the rigid tree is snapped by the storm. In Islamic history, leaders often had to balance mercy with calculated force, knowing that appearing too soft invited betrayal. Different stories, different ages, but the same law beneath. Survival belongs to those who understand when to adapt and when to strike. Machiavelli never told us to become monsters. His advice was colder, more unsettling. Be ready to use the mask of virtue while keeping a dagger behind it. Not to harm the innocent, but to protect yourself in a world that will happily consume you if you let it. He understood that a lion's strength means nothing without a fox's cunning. And you've seen this too, haven't you? In your workplace, in politics, even in family. The one who speaks softly but knows exactly when to push back, that's the one who keeps their position. The one who smiles while quietly setting the board in their favor, that's the one who lasts. Let me give you a story. It's from the old courts of India. A humble minister served a king who was surrounded by jealous rivals. The minister's kindness made him beloved by the people, but dangerous in the eyes of the court. One day his enemies set a trap, accusing him of treason. Rather than defend himself with truth alone, he presented the king with a carefully crafted gift, a rare white elephant symbolizing loyalty and wisdom. Publicly, he knelt in complete humility. Privately, he handed the king documents revealing the real traitors. The king saw the truth. The minister's enemies fell. The minister survived, not by shouting his innocence, but by letting perception do the work. This is what Machiavelli meant. Appear virtuous, be virtuous when it's safe, but when surrounded by wolves, show them just enough teeth to make them think twice. And yes, that's uncomfortable. We are taught that good will naturally triumph, that honesty is the best policy. But look at the world. The honest merchant is undercut by the shrewder competitor. The fair leader is replaced by the one who knows how to pull strings in the shadows. And the gentle soul who trusts blindly often ends up broken. Machiavelli wasn't glorifying deceit. He was describing the reality we pretend doesn't exist. He wanted you to survive. And survival, in his mind, required mastering the art of perception, timing, and yes, selective morality. And maybe you've already felt this without knowing the name for it. That instinct that tells you not to speak every truth. That hesitation before showing all your cards. That quiet awareness that people don't just judge you by who you are, but by who they think you are. This is the game. And whether you accept it or not, you are already a player. So the question isn't whether you will play. The question is, will you play blind, or will you learn the moves, the traps, the shadows? Because as we move deeper into this, we're going to see that playing dirty isn't just about defense. It's about turning the game in your favor, without losing the parts of yourself that matter most. Stay close. There's more in the dark. And if this is making you see the world a little differently, you might want to remember where to find me, because very few are willing to talk about what comes next. And here we are, at the question you can't escape. After everything you've seen in your own life, every betrayal, every deal that slipped away, every moment when goodness alone wasn't enough, you stand at a crossroads. On one path, the honest loser, the one who walks with clean hands, pure intentions, and watches as the world takes what's his. On the other, the masked survivor, the one who keeps his heart intact by protecting it, sometimes with a smile, sometimes with silence, sometimes with a move so sharp it never needs to be seen. Machiavelli knew the choice, and he never lied about it. He told us clearly, it is safer to be feared than loved. If you cannot be both, it is better to appear good than to be crushed for the sake of goodness. He wasn't telling us to abandon morality. He was warning us that morality without protection is a luxury in a dangerous world. Think of the leaders who endure, not just in politics, but in business, art, even in history's quiet corners. They understood the theater of power. They knew that every room has an audience, every move has a witness, and every word can be a weapon or a shield. The weak think life is about fairness. The strong know life is about positioning. And positioning doesn't always look like honesty in the moment. It looks like strategy. But here's the paradox. If you're listening to this, you're probably not the kind of person who wants to hurt others. And that's exactly why you need this knowledge, because playing dirty, Machiavelli's way, isn't about becoming corrupt. It's about surviving corruption without letting it devour you. It's the chess player who sacrifices a pawn to save the king. It's the diplomat who smiles at the table while maneuvering behind the scenes to protect his people. It's you, learning when to speak, when to act, and when to stay silent, not because you've lost your values, but because you've learned how to protect them. The world will tell you to be authentic, to be transparent, but here's the truth you already know. The moment you show everything you are, someone will use it against you. Your kindness will be leveraged. Your honesty will be twisted. Your loyalty will be tested. So maybe you wear the mask. Not because you've become false, but because the mask keeps your truth alive. And one day, you'll look around at those who fell, those who thought the game didn't apply to them, those who thought their goodness would shield them, and you'll realize why you're still standing. You learn to play dirty, not to become a villain, but to protect yourself from them. This is what Machiavelli knew. This is what he wrote for. And this is why his words still matter more than ever. So I'll leave you with the question he leaves for all of us. In a world of wolves, will you be the lamb or will you learn how to wear the wolf's skin? If that question lingers in your mind tonight, remember this space, because the next time we speak, we'll go deeper, and you might just see yourself and the world more clearly than ever before.